I heard about Charlie Kirk being shot minutes after it happened. I unknowingly saw that heinous video that was released, which I'll never get out of my mind, of seeing a young life taken before your eyes. It just amplifies the horror. A dad, a husband, a son, someone who dedicated his life to the opposite of what killed him. He was the opposite of hatred. And people say that he stoked the fires of hatred, that he loved conflict. I never heard him call for violence or insult his opponents. I never saw that. His mission was to have conversations, to sit with people, to listen and hear what they said, not attacking on social media. You know, that takes an unbelievable amount of patience and humility. And most certainly he had a very different viewpoint than those he was debating, but he was logical. He could say things in a way that definitely made people angry. And sometimes when someone makes an irrefutable point, what I've found is that the response coming back is just insult and spewing. But you know, also as a Jew, I counted Charlie Kirk as a friend. He had a book coming out that was called Stop in the Name of God, Why Honoring the Sabbath Will Transform Your Life. He cared for my people and for what happens to Jewish people and the state of Israel. He loved Israel. And in a time when support for the Jewish people is vanishing, losing a voice like his, it is an unspeakable tragedy for us. And I thought that finding his killer, that might make it better, which that happened today. But really, it does not make a difference. It doesn't matter in the sense that we can call that justice if some sick, broken person serves life in prison, or even if they're killed in return, even if they're executed. But there's no justice that's going to change what happened. It does not change the loss that we have experienced. Charlie Kirk tried to change things, and he succeeded in many, many ways. And that's what we are called to do. It does us no good to adopt the attitude of hatred. We must adopt the attitude that Charlie Kirk put forth, which is simply to do what I can do to make a difference. Not everyone is going to like my approach. As a matter of fact, many probably will not, but I will still do what I can. And when the voice that you put forth is one of reason and sanity and humility and love, people get behind that. The president asked that we not descend to this level of hate, to not join those who are speaking that language, who are promoting that. And I certainly, absolutely second that. That rather, those of us who claim to love God and to love our neighbor, that we should bring honor to Charlie's memory. That is how we can most honor this life and his life. And that his children might look back and say that his death was not in vain. My daddy did not die for nothing, because it caused a change in the world. That's my hope, because we're standing at a breaking point. We can descend further and deeper and more darkly into hatred, or we can use the tragedy to rise above this, to make a change. So may God lead us in the latter. May he bring peace to Erica Kirk, to Charlie's children, to all who miss him, who loved him. And a day will come when God will make the world right, and injustice and evil will be put away forever. Until then, I say to Charlie Kirk, rest well, good and faithful servant.